Hey guys, DJP Tekken here. Here to do a quick tier list just from my personal online experience. This isn't, absolute. This isn't, the go-to tier list. It's just how I feel as an intermediate, semi-high level player, my opinion of the online gameplay and the characters' tiers. So without looking at any of the tier lists, I'm going to make my own one. We'll start with Jack. I think Jack's a really strong character. He's been nerfed recently in a recent patch. Excuse me. He's been nerfed in the recent patch. Um, so you can back roll now. You don't have to eat certain, guaranteed follow-ups, which I think brings him down a tier. He's still very high pressure with his lows. If you're not ducking some of his highs, he gets really good plus frames from his stances and stuff like that. He's really, really strong. So I would put Jack personally at A tier at this present time. Jin, he's S tier. Excellent counter hit lows, excellent lows in general. That dive kick low he does, not dive kick low, sorry, that dive kick mids he has is just really strong. Just got a lot of plus frames, he's got a lot of stances into mix-ups now. He's very, very hard to deal with, very, very noob friendly, I'd say now. Obviously, he still has Wave Dash and God Fist, which makes him very, very strong on the higher level as well of gameplay. So, Jin's an S tier. Great combos, great wall damage, great wall pressure. There's not too much more I can say about Jin. He's just an excellent character. Jun, now that's an interesting character. She, on the face of it, she's an S tier. She's got great moves, almost a perfect character. I think her lows to me are a little bit lackluster. You kind of have to use your brain a bit to initiate them. Obviously, she's got down 4, down back 2 is okay. Back 1, they're not great, but she does have some really good tools which make up for her not having the best lows. She's still got good lows, they're just not the best. I think her punishment is okay. It's pretty good. She's got an excellent hit confirmable 13 frame mids. I think that's down back 1 plus 2. Serves as an excellent wall combo ender. Wall splat guaranteed. Like it's an excellent move in general. She's got forward 1 plus 2. She's got a lot of long range stuff that she can use. A lot of evasive utility, counter hit stuff. I would say in the right hands, she's an S tier character. I don't think her punishment is too great. No, I could be wrong. I think she's got decent punishment as well. I think she'll be S tier, but just about S tier. I don't think she's as good as Jin. I think some of her moves are a bit slowish to start, and she can get blown up quite easily with certain characters. But she does have a parry. She's got quite a few tools. I think in the right hands, Jun is definitely S tier. So move on to Kazuya. Kazuya, I would put him at B tier for intermediate players. He doesn't, he's got Hell Sweep, but he doesn't really have anything that stands out. Hell Sweep, God Fist, the same as Tekken 7, really. So I'd put him at B tier, but at the same time, in the right hands, like in the expert hands or higher level player hands, I'd put him at A tier. King, very, very strong character, very annoying to deal with. He's got the unbreakable grabs, his new dash-in stance where he runs into you. He can do various mix-ups. He's quite annoying in general. He's got great pokes, great counter hits. He's just a nuisance. I think they really made him really well. But right now I'd put him at S tier. That's just my opinion. I just think King's really strong, very annoying to deal with. Lars, I think it's just character knowledge right about now. I'm used to like Tekken 7 Lars, Tekken Tag Lars. This Lars here to me is ridiculous. He has mix-ups for days. He's still got all his counter hits, down back 4. He's got all his launchers still. He's got this new dash-in shield guard breaking. I don't know what it does into like a low or the mid. He goes into a stance from it. It's just ridiculous. I think Lars is just ridiculously overpowered personally. And I personally would put him at I'd put him at A tier. I think he might drop a tier with good character knowledge, but just playing Lars in ranked and they're doing all his mix-ups and stuff, I think he's A tier. I mean, I would put him at S tier, but I think that's just me being salty. So I think A tier is a good place for Lars. High A tier as well. Yeah, he's just a nuisance to me. Law, A tier. Reason being is now everyone has access to his DSS, which has been made considerably easier, which means that Law will be used more consistent. You won't be failing as much, you won't be dropping as much combos. You know, people will be using a lot more of his tools a lot easier, which for Law is really, really strong. I heard he has a slide into guaranteed nunchucks. I'm not sure if that's still a thing. Haven't experienced it myself, but I would say just from the face of things, he's still an A tier. He still has his down 2 into launch, which is, you know, in a game like this where rushing down an opponent is sort of the aim, the way they're steering things, that is a really strong tool. So I think Law's at A tier. Paul, A tier. He's just really strong. You know, against the wall, you're pretty much dead. He's still got his Death Fists, which I think on Heat it becomes pretty much safe. Same with Demolition Man. He's got great pokes, he's got great tools. Yeah, I think Paul's just a solid A tier character. Fun to use, great to get into, and if you just want to hit hard, this is the character to go to. Nina. Nina is an A tier. As much as I'm salty, this is my main. As much as I'm salty with the nerfs, you know, moves being removed, she's just got great pokes. She's got great new tools. She's got forward 4 into sidestep, which is really strong. Really, really strong actually. All her cancels and down back 3. Her combos are really, really good as well. She's got really strong combos now. You know, I'm a bit salty about the moves they've removed. As a Nina main, you know, it's not nice to see a lot of her tools being removed again. It's gone down from Tekken Tag 2. She had a really great low. She had like low, you know, down 3, down 4. She had a lot of different moves that they removed in Tekken 7, and they've removed more in Tekken 8. But the buffs they've given her, I think, has made her the strongest Nina where we've had so far. So I think Nina's A tier, excellent character, great pokes, and yeah, just overall strong for the type of game for Tekken 8. Her heat's really good. Yeah, she can just apply a great ton of pressure and can be very hard to deal with, especially if you're not used to Nina. Ling Xiaoyu, I've heard a lot of good things about Xiaoyu, but I personally don't struggle against Xiaoyu. Just me personally, I don't struggle against her. So I would put Xiaoyu, for me, just me, in B tier, maybe low A, as someone who used Xiaoyu throughout the Tekkens. Um, you know, you kind of know what she wants to do. Characters like Nina are really effective against her, and Nina being my main, Xiaoyu's just not a struggle to me. All her back turn stuff can just be punished. She can't really use stances against me too often. I feel like Xiaoyu, to me, I mean, maybe in the right hands, she could be, you know, maybe at A tier, but I feel like she has too many hard counters. And once her stance is shut down, she's pretty much useless. So I would put her at B tier. I don't think Xiaoyu's difficult to deal with at intermediate to high level play, but maybe in the early stages. Now again, you'd have to. Yeah, I'd put her at B tier. I mean, I've heard Xiaoyu's top 10, but I just don't see it. Yet to see that being proven. Xiaoyu, to me, is quite easy to deal with. Shut down her stances, find moves that get her out of her stances or don't allow her to go into it, and she pretty much becomes just a generic B tier character. Asuka, haven't had much experience versing them. She doesn't seem too strong. I'd put her at C tier. Don't know too much about her, but I don't see anything that stands out to me. She's like a weaker version of Jun. Um, yeah, that's all I can really say about her. Leroy again, I don't have any problems. Maybe he's a B tier. Um, he seems decent now. This is kind of how they should have put Leroy in the first place, but he doesn't seem really strong. Um, I'll put him C. I don't think he's as good as Xiaoyu. Yeah, I don't have any problems versus Leroy. He's got great stuff. He's just a standard. You know, if you like the character, the way he looks, then sort of pick him. If you're looking to be a strong player or play competitive, I don't think you'll be using Leroy. I don't think he fits well into Tekken 8 because he's more reserved, more, calculated. And, if you've got like Hwoarang and Jack or Nina, Lars, Jin blowing up in your face, I don't think he's equipped to deal with those type of situations. So I'll put Leroy here. You need other characters' knowledge. You need to know a lot about everyone else in order to do well with Leroy, I think, personally. Lily, goodness gracious me. Annoying as hell. She's just, her stances, her back turn stuff, cancels. She's just an irritating character to deal with, period. Lilies just don't want to stop moving. They just want to continue carrying on with their attacks. And she's quite hard to deal with. She evades a lot of stuff. She's got great movement still. Her lows are very irritating. Yeah, she's just a great character. Put her here. Great combos. A tier. Hwoarang, A tier. He's got great stuff going for him. Hwoarang, great character. Um, you need to learn a bit about Hwoarang, his cancels, his stances and stuff. So it takes a bit of work to get him up and running. I think if you're just picking him, you're new to Tekken and you're just picking Hwoarang for the first time, you're trying out his moves, or you kind of know a bit about Hwoarang but not too much, then you'll kind of fall in between C and B. But once you know Hwoarang, know how to use him, you can blow people up with the mix-ups, same as all the other Tekkens. I don't like Hwoarang, he's one of my worst characters to go against. I just think he's a cheese character. With his mix-ups, you have to learn specific mix-ups about him, otherwise you will die. If a Hwoarang player knows how to use Hwoarang and you don't know how to deal with Hwoarang, it's a guaranteed win for him. Easy win for Hwoarang if you don't know him. So in order to beat Hwoarang, you have to learn how he works. And that's just the law with Hwoarang. Otherwise, you will lose. He's just one of those characters. If you don't learn how they use him, you will lose against him, which again puts him into A tier. And if you do know how to deal with him, they can mix you up still. So, I'll put him at A tier. He's not quite S, but A tier suits him fine. Claudio, he's got Starburst. He's running 2. Yeah, I'd put. Yeah, I think Claudio's great. He's a great character. But would I put him at A tier? No, I don't think I would. If he had a parry, maybe, or some sort of move that I don't know, a parry, maybe like a back one, like a Steve back one, or a Steve counter hit launcher. Then yeah, I'd probably put him in A tier, but I feel like Claudio is just very average. He's got great stuff that he can spam, like the running twos and sidestep move, sidestep low and stuff like that. But he's got good heat engager and stuff. I mean, every character does nowadays, but I think he's just a B tier. I don't find him anything special. Azucena, S tier. She's just annoying. I think maybe it's character knowledge at this present time. I think if I knew her a bit more, she might move down to here. I think she probably is in A tier, but for now, nah, I think she is A tier. I don't think she doesn't have anything that stands out. She's just got great strings and pokes, and obviously her auto parry stuff is quite annoying. But I don't feel S tier. I don't get this type of vibe from Azucena. I just think she's an annoying character. She kind of reminds me of Hwoarang. Her and Hwoarang go hand in hand. I think they're just irritating. Raven, I really wanted to get into Raven. Um, I do use him, but he doesn't have anything that can. You have to get into your opponent's head a little bit with Raven, and most people don't give a damn. So, it's hard to open up players with Raven. I feel like he has to wait for his turn a lot. He has to seek little opportunities. I feel like his stance could have been made a bit better, a bit more good frames on them, going into them, a bit more priority. But again, I feel like Raven's just a B tier. He's got decent combos, good wall combos. He's got some tech. Obviously, I've posted about those, so that helps. But at the same time, I just feel like Raven's not as strong. He has to wait for an opportunity. He can't use his mix-ups. You can't look cool with him because people just want to press buttons, and that does not work well for Raven. So you have to really become a specialist with this character in order to make him somewhere here. But for now, he's just here. Dragunov, A tier, with the recent nerfs. Yep, if it wasn't for the nerfs, I would put him here. But with the nerfs and the pushback after his, I don't know what the name of the move, sorry. But, after the pushback after certain moves, you're not stuck having to face his mix-ups 24/7. I put him at A tier. He's a really strong character still. Got cool combos. They've really improved his combos. Got great pokes. He's got great frame traps. And yeah, he's got good mix-ups with his new stance, and I feel like he deserves to be an A tier. Kuma's not as bad as you think. Yeah, he's not as bad as you think. I think he's still got good mix-ups, very good defensive stuff going on with his, I don't know if it's 1-1-1 or 1-1-2 that launches you. So he's still got those. I think when he goes into his rolling stance, he has a guard break as well. So yeah, I think he's a C tier. I think he's more of yeah, he's a good character. But I think he's like, you have to have liked Kuma before or Panda. You just want to use this character and just have fun with them. But I don't think he's particularly strong. I don't think in tournaments or intermediate level play he can do a lot. But he can be really annoying in the right hands. Probably even here in the right hands. But as a standard character, I think he's about a C tier. Leo, A tier. Leo's really strong. Great mix-ups now. Great heat engager. He could really blow you up. A good Leo can really blow you up. He's a fun character, and I think he gives you freedom of movement. Like you can kind of choose your own style with Leo. I feel like with a lot of characters like Hwoarang, Paul, even to an extent, Kazuya, you have to kind of use them one way. Leo has choice of how you want to use them, how you want to mix them up. I was hoping Raven would have something like that as well, but he just has to wait for his turn. But Leo has choice, how he wants to engage the battle, according to your style. You don't have to commit to a certain thing. There's no pattern that Leo has to follow. Like Dragunov kind of has a pattern. He has to follow, running twos come in. He's going to go for his new low. Kind of what the characters want to do. Nina has a bit more freedom as well. Law has freedom, but yeah, so does Leo. So that's why they kind of A tier. A tier characters kind of have freedom of how you want to use them. B tier, I mean, Xiaoyu kind of does, but once you blow her stance up, she can't really do too much. I feel like she's very limited after you shut down her stances, so that's why she's kind of here. Same with Claudio, he has to rely on a set few moves to kind of get by. Raven, he had potential to be here, but he just doesn't have good enough frames, good enough range, good enough engaging or pressuring the opponent. He just kind of has to wait for his turn and wait for whiff punishes or seek opportunities and get really creative. So I'll put that's why Raven's here. But yeah, Leo has a lot of freedom, great frames, great 50-50s, like he's really good character. Shaheen I don't know too much about. I've played him a few times. Didn't see anything special with him really. B tier. I can't say too much about the characters now. He could be higher, could be lower, but this is just where I feel he is in terms of how I played him. Steve is annoying as hell. Very annoying character. Still got his he's got his back one. He's got new combos now, which are really good. Still got great wall pressure. Still got the peekaboo stance stuff. Yeah, he's a very annoying character for me. He's up there in my top 5 in characters I don't want to see in ranked. Yoshimitsu, for me personally, this is just my opinion, S tier. Sorry, I'm not sorry. And I'll explain why. Flash in a game like this should not exist. In the other Tekkens, I mean, yeah, he could get a full-blown launcher, but this game, it wants you to, they're encouraging you to be aggressive. Aggressive is the name of the game. And Flash just shuts that down completely. Like, you have to play Yoshimitsu very reserved. Back 2-2 is annoying as hell. I mean, yes, you can duck the second hit, if you remember to, but it's a heat engager. I think his 1-1 knocks down in certain circumstances. He's got his fly stance has a lot more moves. He's just an annoying character nowadays to deal with. He's got great combos. He's got great frames. He's still got his full crouch sweep that he can do as standard. He's still got his full crouch sweep that he can do as standard. Yeah, Yoshimitsu is just really annoying to deal with. His heat engager is annoying. He's a very difficult character to open up. He can still spin away. And again, if you pressure him too much, he will just flash back 2-2 into heat engage mix up. Very irritating character to deal with. And I think personally he's an S tier. People disagree. They'll probably say, oh, his punishment or, you know, other stuff. But I feel like just for Tekken 8 and what it is, Yoshimitsu is a great counter for the whole aggressive approach. You have to really take your time in dealing with Yoshimitsu. You have to really know what his moves do, because they have a lot of mix-ups, and I've dealt with a lot of good Yoshimitsus, so I kind of get away. But even still, like, knowing that stuff, Yoshimitsu is an annoying character to deal with. If someone knows Yoshimitsu and you don't, just like Hwoarang, you will lose. Is one of those characters for me. And, you know, even if you do know Yoshimitsu, he still has a lot of options. Yeah, he counter hit lows. He has great stuff still. He still has unblockable sword sweep. Yeah, he still has his wall game tech and stuff. He's still very much as strong as he was before. I think he's even stronger than before. So I feel like Yoshimitsu is an S tier character. Just simply Flash. I mean, if it wasn't for Flash, I'd probably put him here. But Flash for me, even though they've nerfed it, I know without sword stance you can still get a combo from it. So with that, I feel like Yoshimitsu is an S tier character. I know a lot of people have fun using Yoshimitsu, and those Yoshimitsu users, like, you probably get blown up by certain characters, but all in all, you know you win most of your games because Yoshimitsu is annoying. Move on to Feng next. Feng's A tier. Yeah, Feng's still Feng. Not much to really say about him. He's still a great character. If you enjoyed Feng before, you enjoy him now. Yeah, if you enjoy him before, you enjoy him now. He's got some good mix-up still. He's got that wind kick that he does from heat engage, which has humongous range, gives him plus frames. But all in all, I feel like they've adapted him well from Tekken 7 to Tekken 8, so they still kind of remains as strong as he kind of was before, but Tekken 8 style. So Feng's really good, and yeah, will be a tournament pick. Panda, I haven't really seen Panda at all. I have no opinion on her. I assume she's a bit different from Kuma. Kuma should be stronger than Panda, but who knows? I'm going to put her at D tier because I don't have a clue. D stands for don't have a clue. Alisa, I don't like her at all. I don't like her chainsaw stuff. I don't like Alisa. I feel like she's a very cheesy character as well. But again, I feel like that's just stuff you need to kind of get used to. And once you kind of do, she might move down to B tier. She could be a low A tier, but B tier, I just don't like her. I feel like she's just one of my antis, and I just do not like this character at all. But I feel like she would be a B tier in the standard world of things. Devil Jin. Since the patch, he's probably moved down to A tier. I would still say he's S tier, but people would argue he's probably A tier now. You can sidestep stuff. Nowadays, his health sweep's been nerfed, so you're not taking down as much damage as before. So yeah, he's just A tier. Lee Chaolan, great character. I've played a lot of good Lees. He's got great pokes. He's still got his old stuff. They made a lot of stuff easier with Lee. Just making him more consistent. Yeah, he's got a lot of new fun stuff. I think he's a great Tekken 8 character. I think he's a bit more on the technical side still, but he's not too technical that you can't get into him. So I'll put Lee at A tier. Great pokes, great counter hits, hard to get into, and he's got great wall game as always. Great combos. They've made him really user friendly. So yeah, I'll put Lee Chaolan there. Zafina, I'd put her at B tier. She could be A, but because of the movement nerfs from Tekken 7, she's now B tier. She's still got great lows. You know, she's still got annoying plus frame moves and stuff like that, so she can be used really well. You could put her here, but I think due to the movement nerfing and stuff, she goes down to B tier. With Alisa, I think they're kind of hand in hand there. Victor, Victor, he is here. I think he's very easy to use. Yeah, and you only need 3 moves to win with him. Down back 4, back 1+2, and running 2. Those literally are the moves that you need, and just as wall combos. I'll be releasing some Okazemi tech with him, so that might, bring him up a little bit in the tier list, but for now I think he's just here. He's a 3-move character. He's a bit boring to me. His trailer looks really cool, but in terms of gameplay, he's boring as hell. He's 3 moves, and that's how you win with Victor, but which brings him to A tier. Ryan's really good. Put him at high A tier. Great damage, great moves, great wall combos, great pressure. All around just a solid character. A tier. Reyna, I feel like she's an A tier. Her moves don't give her much plus frames. You can intercept a lot of her strings, but in the right hands, she's an S tier. Those with great movement, God Fist that can do all the execution, great combos, stuff like that. She's got Wave Dash, she's got EWGF, great lows, I think personally, great pokes, but again, her stances aren't safe. She can, if you know her, then you can deal with her pretty well, but in the right hand, she's an S tier. But I think, in the general speaking of using her, she's A, but again, in the right hand, she's definitely S tier. And that concludes my tier list. This is just how I feel the characters should be placed. Maybe Panda could go next to Kuma, but this is just how I feel the characters are. For me personally, I actually use Jun. I use Nina very well. Who else do I use? Yeah, I use Victor and Raven. So those are the characters I'm actively using now. I've recently started to use Reyna. I'll be releasing tech on her as well. But for now, that concludes my video. This is just my tier list. I know probably people are looking at Yoshimitsu thinking, what? Yoshi's here. No way. Yoshi is here. Flash alone just brings him to A tier. And combine that with mix-ups and gimmicks and character knowledge, he's up here.